All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is I, the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual, the Chiseled Adonis, back here once again for your 2021 NFL Week 14 pre-game analysis show. And damn it, we are expecting an exciting Week 14 of football. First and foremost, tonight, Thursday Night Football. I mean, not only my return to live streaming on Hot Mic and on YouTube. Click the links in my description. Make sure you head over to the Hot Mic app so you can see me live. But also, we've got the Steelers and the Vikings in a big game on Thursday Night Football. Myself, of course, being the Steelers fan, I got to be a little biased here, but truly, I feel as if Pittsburgh, riding high off of a victory last week against the Baltimore Ravens, will keep that momentum going into Minnesota to take down those Vikings who are without Adam Thielen, and it's just been confirmed that we will see Dalvin Cook playing this Thursday. But how effective will he be? Pittsburgh's defensive line got to get after the quarterback, given that the Vikings have only given up 18 sacks thus far this season. They are tied for the second least in the league, but still, I think those dogs and TJ Watt, who is right now the front runner for the Defensive Player of the Year, will make just enough plays to walk away with the W. Give me the Steelers over the Vikings. Next up, Cowboys and the Washington football team. Dak Prescott is 7-1 against the Washington football team, and the only loss that he had against those guys was relatively what I would consider a fluke. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no reason to not choose Dallas. Now, granted, there's a little bit of injury dealing with Tony Pollard, but still, Zeke is still playing. He's a full participant during practice. So if Tony Pollard doesn't play, I would hope that they give all of the carries necessary to Zeke. I have confidence that first off, the Washington secondary is booty cheeks. So with that being the case, I expect to see Gallup, Lamb, Cooper have magnificent days. Hell, Jarwin, Schultz, they should have magnificent days through the year. Dak should throw for no less than 300 yards this game. There is no reason why he shouldn't. So give me the Cowboys to win this game. For Washington, offensively, they have to match the firepower that Dallas has. And I just don't see that happening. Now, granted, they got a lot of momentum, 4 straight victories, but I just don't see that happening. Jacksonville and Tennessee in Tennessee. Tennessee should win this game. Now, granted, they ain't been that great of a football team since losing Derrick Henry, but still, they're exceptional. They're a playoff, battle-tested team, and there's no reason why they should struggle against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Despite the fact the Jaguars have the superior Josh Allen, but he is also, dealing with a little bit of a shoulder injury, and Miles Jack is dealing with a knee as well. So, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit banged up being Jacksonville. They're already not that great of a football team. There's no reason why you should not roll with Tennessee to walk away with this W. Do not let me down, Tennessee. Don't let me down, because Derrick Henry might mess around and make a resurgence in this doggone season. We might see a reappearance of Derrick Henry because that man's already a superhuman athlete. So if there's a possibility he could return for the postseason, I want to see him. So Tennessee, take care of business, all right? Take care of business, because Indianapolis might mess around and steal the division from you. Do not let that happen. But if it does, I ain't complaining. Seattle on the road to take on the Houston Texans. Seattle better roll in this game, dog. Seattle better roll. DK Metcalf's on the injury list, but I expect that brother to play. Seattle better roll. Houston is a bad football team. Bad football team. They're right there with the Jacksonville Jaguars, bottom, buried in the AFC South, and I don't expect them to walk out there with a W. Give me the Seattle Seahawks to win on the road. Raiders on the road taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, winners of 5 straight. We're going to make it 6 because the Gruden Grinders, formerly known Gruden Grinders, Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders have played like garbage after passing the half of the season, and we already spoke about this ad nauseum. No reason to go regurgitate, reverberate, reiterate things that were already said. Kansas City is going to win this game. There is no reason why Oakland or Las Vegas or the formerly known Gruden Grinders give me any sort of reason to believe in them. On top of that, Darren Waller's a little banged up. Give me the Chiefs to win this game handedly at home. Saints on the road taking on the Jets. Alvin Shinsuke Nakamura might finally be back on the field. Now, granted, nobody feels confident in the quarterback play, but I feel confident in the Saints taking care of the Jets. The Jets have not played a complete football game damn near all year. Now, granted, they played very well against the Eagles in the first half, but that defense is garbage. I have no confidence in the Jets. Damn it, I'm rolling with the Saints. If the Saints let me down here and they lose, listen, take the L out of love it. Your season over, brother. Hell, playoffs is already, in my opinion, it's a lock that y'all ain't going to mess around and make it. But you could at least fight down the stretch. This Jets team is bad. New Orleans better get themselves that W. The Falcons taking on the Panthers in Carolina. Listen, Cam Newton, hello. I need you to get your first W as a starter for the Panthers since 2018, brother. I am begging you to get that W. It got spoiled in the game when you came back and y'all lost to the football team. You got embarrassed weeks ago in your game against Miami. I'm going to need Cam Newton of old. Show me the Cam Newton that played against the goddamn Cardinals earlier in this season a couple weeks ago. Granted, you only had about 5 plays, but that ain't what we talking about. I need to see Cam victorious in a Panthers uniform. It's been over 1,000 days. I cannot confirm that I said sentiments. I think it's actually about 900 plus since we've seen Cam victorious in a Panthers uniform. In fact, I think it is over 1,000 days now, doing the math in my head. Nevertheless, regardless, give me the Panthers to win. Cordell Patterson didn't practice yesterday, but that was only because the homie's a veteran. But whatever the case may be, if Cordell Patterson mess around and score 2 touchdowns at least, give the Falcons a W. But damn it, Cam, win at home. Please. Give me the Panthers over the Falcons. Browns and Ravens. This game went down to the wire the last time these two teams played. Lamar Jackson is struggling. In fact, when he played against the Browns, he threw 4 interceptions. But still, the Browns offense failed to turn that into a suffice amount of points that resulted in a victory. This time around, I think they will. Give me the Browns to take down the Ravens. Why? Because the Browns are very desperate right now. You're sitting at the bottom of the AFC North. If you take another L, now you're in a spot where the space between yourself and the other 3 teams are starting to widen. Now, granted, Pittsburgh has to win in order to keep that space wide, but it's going to begin to widen. You're taking L's in the division, and moreover, you're falling behind in the AFC playoff race. You're going to mess around and find yourself in the 11th seed spot. You desperately need a victory here. For Baltimore, they just got to get over this hump of Lamar struggling as it pertains to protecting the football, putting up a suffice amount of points. And like we spoke about the entire season, Baltimore has been able to skate away with those 50-50 victories. This game is going to prove another 50-50 kind of situation. So will Baltimore rise to the occasion again, walk away with the W, and hold off on the Browns possibly getting themselves an upset? We'll find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. But give me the Browns because they are desperate, and at this particular point, they need this W more than Baltimore does. Now, granted, everybody needs to win on every given Sunday in the NFL. But for the Browns right now, in order to salvage their season, because in my opinion, this right here is their season. You need to win this game. You mess around and lose, things ain't going to be looking too good. So give me the Browns over the Ravens. Giants on the road to take on the Chargers. And there's a little bit of news here because you got a couple of people who are going to mess around and be out of this game. All right. There was an injury to Joey Bosa. I'm not too sure if he's going to be playing. I haven't seen any news as of late, but I think it's leaning towards a no. You got a couple people on the COVID list. Chris Harris is probably not going to be able to play. Mike Williams, probably not going to be able to play. Keenan Allen, if I'm not mistaken, he too might not be able to play. So from where we sit right now, things ain't going to be looking too good for the Chargers. However, this is the Giants y'all playing against. It's the Giants y'all playing against. I will always choose a team to defeat the New York Giants. So give me the Chargers to win on this day. On top of that, Austin Eckler, Asante Samuel Jr., both those guys are still on the injury report right now. So if they mess around and they go on Jay Herbo, you're going to have to play your life out. You're going to have to play until the lights cut off because it's just going to be you out there slinging the ball to guys like Jared Cook and company. All right. So you're going to need to go have the best performance of the season and make sure y'all mess around and get these W's because you can't afford to take L's, especially in that AFC West. Every single team out there in the AFC West they're over 500 or sitting at 500. So you mess around and you take an L, guess what? Somebody might mess around and catch it. Somebody might mess around and leapfrog you. So you need this W. For the Giants, y'all ass. Next, Lions taking on the Broncos. Broncos need to bounce back. This is the game to do it. The Lions just got their very first victory of the season last week. That's magnificent. Emotional moment. I don't think they're going to keep that same kind of momentum. Denver is actually a decent football team. Not to say Minnesota's not, but Denver is a decent football team, and I don't think Denver's going to make the same mistakes that we saw Minnesota make last week. Give me the Broncos to win at home over the Lions. 49ers on the road to take on the Bengals. Woo! This right here going to be an interesting football game. San Francisco was anemic in the second half against Seattle last week. And if you play that brand of football, guess what? You're going to lose. Why? Because we saw the Chargers up 24-0 over Cincinnati. Cincinnati scored 22 unanswered points, and then unfortunately, things didn't work out in their favor. They messed around. They took that L. All right. However, for the 49ers, in a game in which they only played one half of football, you do that against Cincinnati, you will lose. And that's exactly what I think is going to happen. Give me Cincinnati to bounce back after a very, very, very tough loss. However, I am a little concerned. Joe Burrow had a little bit of that injury to the throwing hand, last week. Let's see if it's healed up. But Cincinnati is still a very good football team. They should walk away with the victory here. But that offensive line, they're going to have to block Nick Bosa. They're going to have to block Nick Bosa. If Nick Bosa gets into that backfield, let me tell you something right now. Things can get really scary. I would hate for Cincinnati to be the Miami Dolphins of 2021. Or I should say the Miami Dolphins of 2020, because last year that was the situation. You had a team with a whole lot of momentum, playoff promise. They messed around and had a winning season, but did not qualify. I would hate if that happened to Cincinnati. Go out there, take care of business. Give me Cincinnati to win this game, but I would not be surprised if you did see San Francisco make things interesting. Bills on the road to take on the Buccaneers. Buccaneers starting to figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. Buccaneers are starting to figure it out. But I still am a little concerned about what that defense, or I should say the offense, is going to look like as it pertains to coming out of the backfield, okay? Because although we've seen a couple of good performances here and there, I'm not too sure if this is, just a matter of the style of who they played against, or if this is what they're really going to become, similar to what we saw last year when they began to get stuff together, all right? They fell behind in the game against Indianapolis, and they showed that gumption to mess around and make that comeback. Their defense has been playing good football as of late. I expect to see that continue. Now you're playing against a Bills team that had a very tough loss against, New England, and moreover, the whole month of November has been very tough for that Buffalo team. So now they're in a situation where they got to figure out what kind of football team they want to be. And Tom Brady, he could pick apart any defense. And moreover, he has owned the Buffalo Bills. So let's just say Tampa doesn't run the football well and they just have to throw. You think Tom Brady is tripping over that? Oh my God, I don't have a run game. I'm Tom Brady. 5 touchdowns on your motherfucking head. If I'm not mistaken, how many times has Tom Brady ever lost to the Bills? Maybe 4 at the most? Maybe 3? I know it hasn't been 5. All I know is that brother owns that franchise. And granted, Antonio Brown, fake vaccination card, Poppy, may be suspended. Another defender may be suspended. But you're still going to see the Buccaneers walk away with a W. Give me Tampa to defeat the Buffalo Bills, Bears, and the Packers. I only got one word to say. 2 words, that is. One name. Aaron Rodgers. He said a couple weeks ago, I own the Chicago Bears, and damn it, he going to continue to own the Chicago Bears because it doesn't matter who starts at quarterback, doesn't matter who is playing at running back, doesn't matter if there's a Khalil Mack, whatever the case is, Aaron Rodgers owns the Chicago Bears, and give me the Green Bay Packers to get a victory coming off of their bye week against the Chicago Bears, and they're going to improve to what I believe will put them number 1 seed in the NFC. No, actually, no, they wouldn't be number 1 seed in the NFC because the Cardinals still own that. But they'll solidify themselves as sole possession of seed number 2 if they aren't already sitting at seed number 2. So, Just to give you the final picks for the week, give me the Steelers over the Vikings, the Saints over the Jets, the Panthers over the Falcons, Seattle over the Houston Texans, the Chiefs taking down the Raiders, the Browns over the Ravens, the Cowboys over the Washington football team. Give me the Titans over the Jaguars, Chargers over the Giants, Broncos over the Lions, Bengals over the 49ers, Bucks over the Bills, Packers over the Bears, and Monday Night Football. Big game. Cardinals and the Rams. Game of the week. Top of the NFC. I'm going upset alert. Give me the Rams to take down the Arizona Cardinals. Now, granted, we saw the Rams go on a 3-game skid. We saw them go out there and struggle. Losing Robert Woods is going to be huge for that wide receiver room. They already run a couple of games. They didn't have him. But I think Odell is going to begin to figure it out. He's going to showcase that he is a solid number 2 receiver. That's right, number 2 receiver. And they're going to look competent. But moreover, it's going to be a story of that Los Angeles defense. Because I think they're going to get after Kyler Murray. I think they're going to cause a whole lot of havoc. And this is going to be one of those games that's going to be an eye-opener. Like, wait a minute, what's going on over here? Don't get me wrong. Arizona is going to look very formidable. But give me the Rams to walk away with a W and make things very interesting in the NFC West. Give me the Rams to close out the 2021 NFL Week 14 picks. Let me know in the comment section who you guys have winning, and may the odds ever be in your favor. I'll see you tonight live on Hot Mike. God damn it. Special announcement for those of you who tune in.